Hello and welcome back to my awesome sports show, Win It. Today, it's a football episode. Why? It's because the NFL preseason is halfway done. And what that means? Kickoff is coming soon. So get your fantasy teams ready, get your parlays, and get your jerseys out because football is back. There's three things I would like to talk about today. Three preseason stuff. It's going to translate to the regular season. Trust me. First two games I want to talk about Packers and Bengals, and then Panthers and Jets. Then I want to talk about some running backs after. So, without further ado, let's begin. First up, Packers and Bengals. Jordan Love gets the start, his first start as a starter in preseason, of course. So he didn't play the whole game, but you know what? He passed 7 for 10 for 46 yards and 1 touchdown. And then he subbed out of the game and let Sean Clifford play the rest of it. So I noticed a couple things about Jordan Love this game. He looks good. His passing mechanics is a lot better. Comparing this one against, let's say, the 49ers one last year where he threw 3 picks, it wasn't exactly the good 3 picks last year wasn't good. And it kind of had me worried. But this game showed me that he is capable of taking that next step, which I'm excited for the Packers this year. Considering that I feel the NFC North is still wide open for a lot of teams out there because the Vikings cut Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. The reason, I have no idea. For me, that was weird. The Lions lost Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. And even though the Bears did get DJ Moore, they also lost David Montgomery. So there's a lot of switching going on in the NFC North, and it feels wide open, even though the Vikings will probably take it. But the Packers, if Jordan Love can play this good, they'll contend a little bit more for the NFC North. Maybe not a Super Bowl run, not yet. But I'd say maybe the first or second in that NFC North right there. But I want to talk about the touchdown pass really quickly and how he just floated that ball right to Romeo Doubs. It was a nice catch. He led a nice drive with a nice catch. There's a couple passes I'm sure he wanted back to try again. But overall, his play was very good in this game. Sean Clifford, when he subbed in, he did actually not bad. He threw for 20 for 26, 208 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 picks. He is a rookie. They drafted him in the later rounds of the draft just to back up Jordan Love. And again, he didn't play terrible, but the 2 picks, but he's a rookie. So, it still kind of bounces off out because he still has a lot to learn. He's just sort of there to, I guess, just back up Jordan Love in the regular season. And last year, you can kind of see how the league is making a shift between your pocket passers and moving towards more players who can move around, like that Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes type of player. Because, well, it's good to have a mobile quarterback. He's able to make more plays, especially with the whole young direction the Packers moved in the offseason. Because they didn't re-sign Robert Tonyan. They didn't re-sign Randall Cobb. They didn't keep Allen Lazard. They want guys to be quick. And that's their whole thing. They want young and fast players. So that's exactly what they got in Jordan Love. However, the star for this game was not the quarterbacks. It wasn't any one big name. It was actually Emmanuel Wilson, the running back, the backup for Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Emmanuel Wilson, 6 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is going to fit great in the regular season lineup, especially when you want someone faster than Dillon and the mobility and speed of Jones. It's a perfect combo between the two, and especially with Aaron Jones. I noticed last year his running yards were over 1,000 yards, but A.J. Dillon took some of those yards as well, especially towards the end of the season. So Emmanuel Wilson kind of fits if one of them is injured, or even if, like they had a lot of snaps throughout the game. He can fit that little piece right there that will give this running game the boost it needs in order for the Packers to keep going on, let's say, like 3rd and 1 or even 2nd and 10. He could be able to break big for big yards constantly because 6 carries for 111 yards is an average of 18 and a half yards a carry. Yeah, it's preseason, but still, 6 carries for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's going to give this Packers offense a boost, a big boost. That's exactly what they need. The Packers ended up winning this game 36-19. Their defense played not bad. Actually, they played pretty good, if I say so myself. They picked off the Bengals quarterbacks twice, Trevor Siemian and Jake Browning. Nothing really much on the Bengals side, as no team really played their starters, because I think Joe Burrow's still out with an injury. And obviously, I don't think they would want to risk playing Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or Tyler Boyd, even Joe Mixon in just a preseason game. But it got a lot of the players to show what they can do, like Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. Moving on to a game that I actually got to see in person. My first NFL game in person. The New York Jets versus the Carolina Panthers. It was really cool, an NFL game in person. Although Aaron Rodgers wasn't playing, I saw him on the sideline. I saw Randall Cobb too. Again, those guys weren't playing, but it was still cool to see them on the sideline coaching all the younger guys. The Jets won this game by a score of 27-0. Carolina, Matt Corral has a lot to learn in this league. He needs to. There's some plays where he should have been more aware of certain things happening around him, Matt Corral. But other than that, he was picked off once, and towards the end of the game, he got a lot better as the game went on, as he was able to see, oh look, there's a receiver open over there, instead of forcing one into coverage, or he runs the ball as opposed to forcing the ball into coverage again and again and again. So he was able to learn over and over again. But that's not the story of the game. The story of the game was Bryce Young got his NFL debut. And he only played a couple snaps. Again, you don't want your starter to get injured. He threw 4 for 6 for 21 yards. Not terrible, considering it's his first NFL game. So I want to see what he can do in week 1 of the regular season. I'm not judging Bryce Young or Jordan Love fully right now, but it seems he was moving the ball well. Considering 4 for 6 is pretty good, but the sample size is really small on that. But, I hope he's pretty good in the regular season. The Panthers deserve to win the division this year, in my opinion. They made a lot of moves in the offseason, and they're going to be good this year. Their defense got better. The receiving core got better with DJ Chark and Adam Thielen. They also traded for Miles Sanders, is what I remember. Well, they signed him, actually. But they didn't play all of their starters this game because, again, preseason, you don't want anybody to get hurt. But from what I've seen, considering Matt Corral threw 15 for 22, 126 yards, 1 interception, they put no points on the board. And that kind of just shows that the offense, without those starters, kind of just hits they just didn't do anything all game. And that's about it with the Panthers, They played good, but, they weren't able to just get over certain plays. Their offensive line let a lot of sacks in this game. So that needs to be better if they want to actually compete for the division. Because Bryce Young is going to need a solid offensive line to keep him going. Because the Jets got a lot of pass rushes in. There's a lot of times the Panthers were in field goal range, but they were pushed out of it because the Jets' pass rush was just so good this game. That's something you have to watch out for, Carolina. You can't be getting shut out because of that things. They could have had a lot of more points on the board, even if it was just field goals. But because of those sacks, they were really pushed out of that range to get those points. And that's something that they can work on. That's why it's preseason. They saw what they did wrong in the game, and now for the next game, they can learn from those mistakes and keep going and better themselves over and over again. And then when the regular season comes, boom, they can have a great start. They can play good. They can feel good about their wins. They can learn from their losses. And that's what this whole rebuilding thing is about. And drafting your quarterback in the first round, rookie quarterback, building a better offense around him. They traded DJ Moore for technically the first overall pick, which became Bryce Young. But, they actually replaced DJ Moore with Adam Thielen. So I don't know if it balanced itself out, but it's still a solid offense to keep them going. And if they can just fix those little things, especially their offensive line this game into the regular season, they could have a real shot of winning the division. Now, for the winning side, the New York Jets, 27 points in the game. Zach Wilson got the start this one. He threw 14 of 20 for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. He was later replaced by Tim Boyle in the game. He threw 9 for 10, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The Jets' passing game looked good. Their pass rush looked amazing. Their running game, pretty good. Again, you don't really want to start your main guys, but you got to see guys like Michael Carter make an appearance. You got CJ Uzoma, Tyler Conklin, all those guys just to play a couple snaps in the thing. Randall Cobb and Leon Lazard did not make an appearance. Neither did Corey Davis. And that's it. The Jets got 27 points in the game. There was no rushing touchdowns, only passing touchdowns. And Greg Zuerlein was a busy guy, kicking a lot of field goals this game. About 9 points in field goals, 2 for 2. And then he got the 3 extra point kicks. The Jets' passing attack looks great, even without Rodgers on the field. I would have liked to see Rodgers play at least a snap in this game. It was still a good game. The Jets, they didn't play perfect. However, what they did throughout the game, their defense really sealed it for them, especially basically holding Carolina to a shutout. Right? And that's really about it for the Jets this game. They played great. Fix a couple things. They're back on the market for probably contending for a Super Bowl this year, I'd say. Especially with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. Still a top 10 quarterback in the league. He brought some of his buddies along with Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard. But he also got a bunch of new guys to work with, a bunch of new rookies, a great defense. Because the Jets' defense is very good. They really built themselves over these last couple of years, collecting, your first overall picks, first rounders, and stuff like that. But they really got their quarterback that they needed, and he'll elevate everybody else to play better. Because I know Aaron wants another Super Bowl. I'm sure the Jets want a Super Bowl for the first time since the 60s. And I think they'll come like second in the division, because the Bills are very strong. They're still very strong. Their defense is great, but I feel like it'll be closer than we think. I feel like the Jets will go 11-6 and second in the division, just because the Bills, they're a tough team. Their defense is amazing. Josh Allen, hopefully he improves this year even more to get past that, the distance between him, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. But if he can improve this year, I think the Bills will win the division and possibly win the Super Bowl. For all my Bills fans out there, I don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl yet. I'd like to wait till week 1 to do it. But if I were to pick someone right now, it would probably be the Chiefs to win it again. Just because, Patrick Mahomes is coming off an insane season, winning a Super Bowl on a sprained ankle. And, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney is going to improve in the offseason too with the help of Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. It's not far-fetched to wonder if the Chiefs will repeat this year, right? But going back to the Jets, I think they'll make a solid wild card appearance and possibly divisional AFC championship. potential in them right now. To the running back situation. Two major running back things happened. Ezekiel Elliott signed with the Patriots, and Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets. I feel like Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots is a bigger deal than Dalvin Cook to the Jets, just because the Jets already have a solid running game. He's kind of just there to put the sprinkles on top for that. With Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots, the Cowboys, I like Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's still a solid running back. The Cowboys, they cut Zeke because he didn't produce, but the numbers he did weren't too bad considering that Pollard kind of took his job. But, he did kind of slow down Zeke a little bit. So, going to the Patriots makes sense because Bill Belichick, as a coach, will keep Ezekiel Elliott on a routine and give him a lot of touches so that he can get his confidence back. And then once he gets that confidence back, he can easily run for over 1,000 yards again. He can even be like that dual threat Aaron Jones type where he can catch passes in the end zone, run for over 1,000 yards, the whole thing. Especially with the whole new kind of offense they got. They also got Juju Smith-Schuster, the Patriots, as well. So they're kind of going on a whole, I feel like, new approach to their offense as opposed to what they did last year. Because remember, the Patriots also lost Damian Harris. They also lost Damian Harris. So in that case of losing Damian Harris, they have to replace him with somebody. So it was either him, Ezekiel Elliott, with someone with a lot of experience, especially now that he can train some of your rookies too, because he's got a lot of experience in this league as well. And he's a tough runner. He'll help train the rookies, and I think that the Patriots, they'll be solid this year. I feel like they'll be a wild card team. And other than that, Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots makes a lot of sense, especially because now it's a fresh start for Zeke in a whole different conference, probably away from the whole NFC atmosphere too, because if the other teams figured him out, at least now he'll have a chance just to rebrand his game with the Patriots. He'll get a lot of touches with the screen passes and all the run plays that the Patriots do. But even when they do passing plays, he's a solid blocker and he's able to get open when needed. And that's my opinion on Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots. That's all the news I have for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you for watching my show. Have a great day.